Donald Trump is really looming over this entire trial, and essentially what Stewart Rhodes' lawyers are going to argue is that all of this Stewart Rhodes believed was in some ways legal because he was waiting on an order essentially from Donald Trump to take any action.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Stewart Rhodes, the founder of the seditious group Oath Keepers, is facing some of the most serious charges to come out of the January 6 trials that he and his cosplaying hog parade have come to mess around and find out about thus far.
It revealed this new audio. We've seen a lot of text messages from the Oath Keepers, but they trotted out this new audio that was recorded a few days after January 6th that features Stewart Rhodes. And, it sort of debunks, I suppose, a lot of what the defense is trying to roll out now, because on that audio tape, Stewart Rhodes said that his only regret about January 6th is that they didn't bring rifles. And indeed, the government says that rifles were stationed outside of the District of Columbia in Virginia at a hotel there, ready for action, essentially a quick reaction force.
According to some of the evidence, not only did this guy believe that he was acting as an extension of Donald Trump, but he regretted not bringing rifles to the Capitol on that day. Just let that one marinate for a minute. The tourists wished they had brought rifles to their peaceful protest and guided tour of the Capitol. The tourists that beat cops with Blue Lives Matter flags, brought zip ties, and made a gallows for Mike Pence. They wish they had done more, according to their leader, who also in court will be arguing that he believed he was taking direct orders from Donald Trump. Who at this point is so brain dead from the MAGA madness that they will stand by these criminals? Why would it literally have taken rifles drawn at the Capitol for this to be more serious?
And 4 other members of the extremist group are facing seditious conspiracy charges. It is the most serious trial of any January 6th defendant to date. If convicted, these people will face 20 years in prison. All 5 of them, all 5 Oath Keepers, have pleaded not guilty.
The current state of our democracy is not only precarious, but at a teetering edge, hanging by a piece of dental floss on the side of a cliff that Donald Trump created. And the news surrounding that day just keeps coming out. Every time I see a piece like this, I can't help but wonder how it can get worse, and then it does. It never stops horrifying me that these people thought about doing and attempted to do on that day. Any trace of the wretched filth that the Trump cult has left in our government must be voted out immediately. The more horror stories that we collect, the more this tale becomes a grim warning for our future. These madmen have no entitlement to be a part of this country's government. The Marjorie Trainwreck Greens, the Tucker Carlsons, the Matt Gaetzes, the Gomerts, the Boberts, they all have no place speaking on behalf of Americans. Their legacy will be that of an attempt to destroy what we have created, the efforts to turn back the clock and make America belong to the worst examples of us, and that's not who we are. We have a crystal clear choice to make in the midterms this year, and they are just a few weeks away. Remember who is trying to take away your freedoms, who is trying to harm you, knock you down, and beat you senseless while they offer you to give you a hand up before the midterms. If they were a snake, they'd leave you poisoned and dead. So believe that you see a snake when you see one before it's too late. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.